But the Rashford I'm seeing this season, he's just acting like a complete fool, unprofessional. He's not working hard on the pitch. I remember the first 5 games of the season, he hadn't even scored a goal. So you're seeing this guy who isn't performing on the pitch at all, and then there's stories of him coming up like this, and it's just disgusting, really. Okay, let's have a look at the problem with Marcus Rashford so far this season. Without wasting any more time, guys, let's get straight into it.
It's some carry on again, mate, isn't it? I mean, dear me.
Is he in danger of squandering his career here?
Yes.
I'm just massively confused about it. I've been listening to a lot of the Man United fans ringing in and non-United fans, and I just, I know it's in a certain news outlet, and we're all having a laugh about the waitress in the bar. It sounds like a song from the 80s, doesn't it? But it's like, I'm just confused by it. I mean, I initially heard it and I thought, no, he won't be out on a Thursday night, and then you think, nah, he's not had a drink, and then it's just like, it's incredible for a footballer to be doing that. And I think a lot of what I've reacted to it is a lot of what the journalists are saying last night about what are the club doing. This is how are they letting him back in the squad against Wolves on Thursday when you've got
well said.
Stormed down the touchline, who got
well said.
Chelsea. Look at what happened with Jadon Sancho. It's really confusing, and also player power is a concern at United, and I'll be very, very, very disappointed if Marcus Rashford isn't doing a public apology. I don't like the whole it's been dealt with privately. He's not disrespected the manager, he's disrespected the fans, and the fans.
And this is where really the problems begin for me, because I've been someone who's defended Rashford just ferociously, really, since that season he had, when I've said it time and time again that the main reason why Rashford had such a bad season, when Oli got sacked and Rangnick's first year, was because of that shoulder injury, and then him coming back into the squad, and etc. etc. I'm not gonna keep beating on the same note. If you know, you know. If you don't know, you can watch some of the older videos. I've defended Rashford in many ways, but this season is just getting to a point where I'm getting a bit fed up with Rashford's behaviour. It's like he's acting like a little child. He's acting like a player from the academy who's just come in and is having their first taste of first team football and professionalism. And this is not at all who Rashford is. Rashford is a key player in this team. He's our key offensive player, someone who last season scored 30 goals in all competitions, someone who during the Euros, in my opinion, after Saka, and in the mix of Saka and Bellingham, were the bright spots of that England team, because he showed, although we have England have a manager that isn't that good, there are players in the team that can perform. And I looked at Rashford last season and I said, this is what I've been telling you for the past 2 years. This guy is amazing. He's a world-class player, and when you give him a manager and he's fit, he's going to perform a professional, elite level, world-class level. But the Rashford I'm seeing this season, he's just acting like a complete fool, unprofessional. He's not working hard on the pitch. I remember the first 5 games of the season, he hadn't even scored a goal. So you're seeing this guy who isn't performing on the pitch at all, and then there's stories of him coming up like this, and it's just disgusting, really. And this is why Mark here is saying he needs to apologize to the fans as well, because really and truly you have to. You can't just be doing things like this. And then let's remember, this football club, the reason why this football club is so big, one of the main reasons is because of the fans, because of the support these fans show United time and time again, even though the team's not performed well for the last 8 years. So Rashford, really, especially for someone like me who's defended him time and time again wholeheartedly, to see things like coming out like this, it just makes me sad. It's just sad. It's just disappointing. There's no other words for it. It's just disappointment. And I don't know, the reports of him going to PSG in the summer, and for the first time I'm not mad at those reports. It's like, with the way he's playing, with his attitude, he may as well go. But anyways, let's carry on.
Deserve an apology like other players have done in the past, and I think what you also got to remember is that this is a new world under Ineos and Sir Jim now. So people are saying, well, Glazers, this, that and the other. The last month we've been told about a new Manchester United. Well, if this is a new Manchester United, I don't see much change. I think that's another good point. And it's just more of the same at United. It's just the same unprofessional behavior happening time and time again. With Ronaldo, things were dealt with. With Sancho, things were dealt with. Even with Paul Pogba,
with Mourinho kind of tried to manage that situation. I'm not seeing anything happening from Rashford. I've always, one of the main reasons why I liked Ten Hag last season so much was because of the way he was able to deal with that dressing room and get everyone where they needed to get, which helped us finish third because you had a united unit, no pun intended. And with Rashford this season, if Rashford is doing stuff like this, I mean, where's the punishment? As we've heard, things have been dealt with. I mean, where's the punishment? I mean, Sancho has gone off to Dortmund now because of his behaviour early on in the season and his unwillingness to apologise to Ten Hag. So, where's the punishment for Rashford? Oh my days, it just looks silly, man. It just looks silly.
My opinion.
I'm looking at the whole thing, and I'm looking at Marcus Rashford, right?
Yeah.
On the park as well. I mean, for me, I thought I keep him back and harping back the performance up at Newcastle, mate. I was actually staggered at what I saw. I thought his body language was poor at Wigan, really poor at Wigan, mate. I don't know whether you agree or not. I thought it was poor, and I'm thinking to myself, he's going to have to knuckle down, you know, and try and make things right. Get back in the team, score goals, get a bit of energy about you. I mean, it's just systematic. United, they just seem to get in one problem after another. And I've got to say, I have a great degree of sympathy for Ten Hag over this.
Yeah. I mean, you're absolutely spot on, Ali. If you think about it, he's had the Ronaldo thing, Greenwood.
It's like you have this manager who's, you know, already struggling to get his players to perform on the pitch. You have this manager who's got a bunch of players who don't really fit the playing style that he wants to play, and then on top of all of that is all the outside the pitch things that he has to deal with. Goldbridge is just about to list all of these things, but as he said, you've had Greenwood, you've had Ronaldo, you've had Sancho, you've had Anthony. I think that's being dealt with. So it's like all these problems outside the pitch, and I'm looking at other clubs, and it's like Man City don't have nearly enough as many problems. Yes, you've had that thing with Mendy, but I mean, you know, Mendy was put aside from the club during that period. So it's like, you look at a team like even Liverpool, it's like the clubs that are, you know, performing very well in the league, or even Arsenal, they're not having as many problems outside the pitch. And you look at our team, and you know, you see the problems outside the pitch, you see the problems in the pitch, and it's like, is there a correlation between the two? It's like, I feel sorry for Ten Hag because you really have this team who is underperforming, and on top of that, you have to deal with all the crap outside the pitch. It just makes his job 10 times harder. Sorry.
Sancho, Anthony, Rashford, Varane. Obviously, you say, well, that's down to the manager. But any United fan would say you've got to crack a few eggs to make make an omelette, and the club need to be supporting him. On Rashford, what I would say is, as a United fan, and I think most people would agree, we'd be up at 7 o'clock to go training, and we'd be there on time, and we'd be giving everything. But we don't walk in the shoes of Marcus Rashford. That behaviour on Thursday night, and it's not the first time this season, isn't ordinary. I think there's something going on there. I don't know whether the club are handling this the right way because we don't have all the facts, but Marcus Rashford, to me, is wasting his career by doing things like that he did on Thursday. There's no excuse.
By being a fool. He's wasting his career by being a fool. And again, we've already seen what Rashford's able to do when he's focused, like last year when he was able to score 30 goals that season, especially after the World Cup. The way Rashford was performing from January to March, it was just insane. He was one of the very best players in the world, but again, you can't really say that anymore because it's for such a short period of time. I can't label Rashford a world-class player anymore because it's such a short period of time. Someone I always like to bring up in this conversation is Salah, because Salah in his first year, a lot of people were saying, oh, just a fluke, Salah won't be able to continue this, and it's like, Salah has been at Liverpool for how long now? 7 years? And his Salah's performances have been stellar. Yes, there may be years where he doesn't score maybe 25 goals, he scores a bit less. But for the most part, Salah's been a key part of this Liverpool team. And this season especially, you can argue that Salah's the best player in Liverpool. It's the difference between guys that can have a good stretch or a nice stretch of games and world-class players that do this year in and year out. And so far, Rashford, I'm sorry, mate, I don't think if I'll ever be able to give the world-class label to Rashford again unless he shows me some type of consistency, because one season scoring 30 goals is not enough for me to label you a world-class player. You had a good season, but it's not enough. And it's like, as Gorbich said, you're wasting your prime years, just doing stupid stuff, really.
Excuse for it. It's not normal behaviour. As Stuart Pearce said last night, he should be a leader. He's not a leader. He's not a Man United player at the moment, and he's losing faith with the fan base that's had his back for many, many years. And it's gonna be very interesting to see if you can win that back.
But Mark,
And that's it. That's pretty much what I've been saying this whole video. Is that with these performances, and even that tweet he put out against Gorbich, I was just like, what the hell was this about? I've not even talked about that, but I probably need to review that and revisit that. And it's like, Rashford, the guys that have backed you this whole time, like me, I remember even Gorbich was backing you when your performances were poor, and now it's like spitting on the or biting the hand that feeds you. Like, the guys that support you this whole time, and you're just doing this stuff again. It's just disappointing to me.
he can't be involved against Wolves, can he? If he does, that totally undermines Eric Ten Hag. It says that he can do what he wants and still play.
For me, I think when these sort of things happen, people want him sold, this, that, and the other. It's January. We're not selling him. We're going to have to use him before the end of May. And if he starts scoring goals again, people won't want him sold. But you're absolutely right, Jeff. I think there has to be a statement where Manchester United, and for me, he missed Newport because he was ill, not because he was suspended. He has to miss the Wolves game. It has to be a message that nobody's bigger than the club. You've been out on a Thursday night doing God knows what around the Wolves game. And if he plays, player power wins. And under Ineos and Sir Jim, that's not meant to be happening. So what's going on at the club?
What do you think, Martin? Bottom line, is this the straw that breaks the camel's back?
I think if it was May, I'd be having a big conversation about it's best to part ways. Because you've also got to take into account the player.
Yeah.
Surely for the player, a move looks like a good idea, because there's obviously some sort of toxicity there that's not doing him any good either. So yeah, if we're in May, but my thing is, we've still got a lot going on until May. We're going to have to use him, and therefore, who knows? But I think we've been here before. I said this 2 years ago. We've been here too many times, and it's a brave person that thinks that they're going to finally get this consistency to click. So I think United and Rashford need to have some strong conversations over the next few months and do what's best for everybody.
Mark, thanks very much indeed,
Thanks for your
mate.
time, mate. Have a good day.
Anyways, guys, this is the end of the video. But as I said, the message still stands. And this is the first time where I've heard talks of selling Rashford, and I'm not opposed to it, because of the way he's been behaving, the way he's been playing. It's just nothing, guys. But anyways, guys, thank you very much for watching till the end. You're much appreciated. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe, share. Do all those things to please help me grow this channel. And I'll see you guys soon.